If you want to grow some big, juicy, voluptuous chebs, bigger than your missus, you're going to want to watch this video. So I could probably list many of my favorite chest exercises, but I'm going to list my top 3 in this video. You can challenge me on a lot of muscle groups, but my chebs, I've built them over the years and it's my strongest point. So you're going to want to hear what I have to say. Exercise number 1 is incline dumbbell press. This is my bread and butter. Since when I started to now, I've had this exercise in my plan, and it's one of the exercises that I love and hate at the same time, because sometimes it can ruin my session if I don't hit the number I want, but also it's literally the foundation of building my chest, because incline, it focuses on the upper portion of your chest, which really helps. That voluptuous shape is what you want. So this is my bread and butter exercise, and the main thing is why I prefer dumbbells compared to barbell bench. There's nothing wrong with barbell bench, but dumbbells allow you to rotate at the wrists, so it means you can push in about a 30 degrees angle and pushing in the scapular plane, which number 1 is your strongest position to press from and is your safest position as well. And you can have your wrist where they feel natural to you, compared to being in a fixed bar path compared to like a bench press exercise. So when you want to set this exercise up, you want to make sure you have your bench set up at the correct height. So you can have it further up, and that will allow a greater angle, and it means you will get more kind of shoulder recruitment compared to just chest. And the lower you have it, the more it's going to hit your chest. So I have it pretty low. I have it around like 30 to 40 degrees from flat, because I predominantly want to work on my chest rather than my front delts, hence why I have it so low. So make sure you set it up at whichever angle you want to focus on the most, whether you want more shoulder recruitment or whether you want just purely chest. And then what you want to do is grab your dumbbells, make sure you put them on the end of your knees, because the main thing that I see that people struggle with is getting the dumbbells into the correct position, and it gets tricky. As soon as the dumbbells go over 20 kg, 30 kg, 40 kg, then it is tricky. So you want to make sure you don't always want to rely on a spot to get them up. So what you want to do is use as much knee drive as possible to propel them up and back into position. So as you come down, and as the weights go up, you want to come down with your back. Make sure you are retracted your scapula and you have a slight arch in your back. Nothing crazy. You don't want to be doing like some next level arch that you're going to break your back, but just a little retraction of the scapula, shoulder blades pinned back, and then you want to make sure you have your elbows around 30 degrees out, which is within the scapular plane, and then you want to press that rep up, and then that will be the correct position you should be in. Or if you throw them all the way up, then literally just start your first rep and come down. And then that is how you perform that exercise. You want to make sure you focus on form and tempo. There's no point throwing around big weight around if you can't control it, because that's only going to be working your ego, and your muscles do not care about what weight you're lifting in the gym. Honestly, it's irrelevant if you can't control it. So make sure you focus on controlling that weight with perfect form, because that's what's going to build the most muscle. And then number 2, we have a flat machine press. So there's many different variations of machines that I've used over time. I can't just say one favorite because there's multiple. Usually it's a plate loaded machine or some sort of press where it can converge, because a good chest press machine is where it converges in the correct position, because some are just fixed in like a straight bar path, which is not the best. Where it converges forward, then it kind of correlates where your chest would naturally move through motion. So this is probably my second favorite exercise, because this makes sure all bases of chest training is covered with the next exercise as well. But how to perform this exercise is very similar to the incline dumbbell press. With all chest exercises, you want to make sure you retract that scapula, chest out nice and proud, and focus on the form and tempo. The 2 terms people use when they're describing training in general is eccentric and concentric. Eccentric is the lowering phase of the movement, which is called the lengthening part of the exercise, and then the concentric is the shortening, which is where you are, for example, on a chest press, you are exploding up. So on the eccentric phase, you want to make sure they are around 2 to 3 seconds. You want to really focus on the control, and then the concentric, you can have a bit more explosive power. So it's all about controlling those 2 movements, those 2 kind of actions, because as long as you control them with elite level execution, then you're going to be building muscle, and you're going to be making sure that you're not going to injure yourself and anything in between, basically, because most people just pick up some really heavy weight, they throw loads of plates on the flat press machine, and then just try to move it from A to B, because that is not going to create the most effective muscle growth, which is what you want. You want to be efficient with your movements. In terms of the next exercise, we have the chest fly. And this allows us to cover all bases of chest training, because we got a flat, we got an incline, and then we have a fly as well, which really allows to get that chest nice and short. So my favorite machine with this is either a pec deck or just a chest fly variations. You can use cables, but personally I don't get on with cables as much as I do with a pec deck or just a chest fly variation of this. So the main demo of actually how to do this exercise is the same as all the other exercises. Just make sure you retract that scapula, your back pressed against the pad, and really make sure that chest is up and proud. And then you want to focus on driving those elbows together. You don't want to focus on driving those hands together, because that's not going to get the most out of the movement. If you actually sit back and try push your hands together, you can do that without even connecting with your chest. But if you actually retract the scapula and try to get those elbows together, and that actually shortens the chest and allows you to connect with it really well. So the same goes for this movement. You want to make sure you're just trying to make those elbows kiss, and you're not trying to recruit too much shoulders. You want to make sure your shoulders stay in a fixed position, and you're not kind of just being like a crab. Because so many people will jump on the pec deck, max it out, put some really heavy weight on it, and then they just turn into a crab, or like just trying to hug someone. That is not it. That's not the correct way to perform that exercise. You want to make sure you are really strict with this, because this will allow you to build as much muscle. So chest nice and proud, looking up, have those shoulders fixed in position, and then driving those elbows together. And you can already feel that without any kind of exercise or without any machine. And they are my top 3 exercises that have built my chest over the years that I've been training, and as I've been an online coach as well. So hopefully you find some value in this video. Let me know your favorite chest exercise, and please drop this a like rating and hit that subscribe button. I will see you guys in the next one. In a bit, people.